There's a smartphone game now called Miitomo.
Mm-hmm.
How do you pronounce it?
Miitomo.
Miitomo.
It's like me and then Tomodachi.
Tomo is together, like Tomodachi means friend.
Tomodachi, yeah.
It's part social network, part Tomodachi Life, like the game that some of us. I played that game. I don't know if you guys got to play it. And its announcement freaked out investors a little bit. It freaked out the internet a little bit. But we're here with another take.
Yeah,
Because I don't think it looks that bad. I think it's an interesting experiment, and I think Nintendo has been known for really experimental titles recently. Those are things that have been doing the best for them, like Brain Age and, of course, Wii Sports, which are not Mario games.
So, I mean, let's look at the background, right? There was news leaked out that Nintendo would finally announce its first mobile game, right? The first full-fledged Nintendo-made mobile game. And so I think expectations then ran high as to what franchise would they launch with. Everybody always thinks Mario first or Zelda or something like that.
Hey, Per.
Yeah.
I have some visual examples here for people looking at the video, and I'll describe them for people on audio.
Right.
These are some early examples of just what you're talking about. Nintendo reaching out and starting an experiment on PC with Mario, because we know this new game is going to come to
Licensed
PC
games.
and iPhones. These are 3 PC games. Mario's Missing, Mario's Time Machine, and Mario Teaches Typing, my favorite.
This is your own personal collection?
Yeah, which came out in the early 90s. Nintendo worked with PC developers to put these out. Interplay on this one, which is kind of interesting. So
That was the old school approach,
that was
right?
the old school approach. Put Mario on everything.
Take your big character and
These
then...
didn't work out so well.
Well, they weren't good,
No.
right? And they weren't
Well,
good.
I learned typing from it.
And to be fair, though, they did think about the PC and said, all right, what can you do on a PC? It's got a keyboard. It's got very different from our platform. So let's do something for that platform.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what they're doing with mobile. And so I think the initial reaction from fans was, I want a Mario game. And then they hear it's Miitomo, and it's essentially a gamified social networking app, is what it is, right?
But I don't think people are even looking at it that way. Go ahead, Kelly.
Yeah, I wouldn't want a Mario game on mobile. I would
Really?
prefer this. Yeah,
Oh,
I want my
I want
Mario
a-
game with the controls that I'm used to. This is when I'm on the BART on every morning to get to work.
That's our Bay Area rapid
The Bay
transit
Area
for people who
rapid-
don't live in.
It's just a
It's a
train.
train.
It's just
It's really
it's a
fast.
lame train.
It goes
fast-
under the ocean.
It does go under
well.
the ocean, but it sounds like you're descending into the depths of something awful. Anyway, there's not a lot of seats on BART, and I often don't get a seat in the morning, and so I can't pull out a 3DS and play a game like for 15 minutes while I'm on the BART waiting for my stops. I would rather. Well, if I get a seat, I do play my 3DS. But if I can use one hand and hold onto the train with the other, I'd
that's
rather
right.
have something, short.
It's a unique situation, yeah.
Well, yeah, but I think a lot of people commute. I think a lot of people take trains. That happens much more
I never thought about
frequently.
the one-handed idea. Instead of holding your phone on the side and even really engaging with it.
Yeah,
it's
like
so
just
much more
using
passive.
something short and easy while I'm waiting for my next stop. I think that's a much bigger thing in Japan even, which
Sure, yeah. And it
explains
And it looks
why
like
it's
the
trains.
gameplay is based on checking your Facebook status, checking
Right.
stuff like that. And that's what you're getting at,
Well,
is that
it's-
it looks like a social network.
No, it's
does.
it's Tinder for shy people. I mean, that's basically what it sounds like. You
heard it here first.
Well,
Swipe right on my me.
I mean, they took one of the most popular things that mainstream consumers identified with the Wii, and that was the Me creation, right? Creating a copy of yourself with this really stylized, simple system was what restarted the whole avatar craze on platforms, right? Microsoft did it later as well, and it worked really, really well. And so they're taking that element and then they're merging it with meeting people, living in the real world, where maybe there's somebody sitting in the train from across from you, and you're not sure how to approach them, and you want to share your likes and dislikes with other people, and that's what it's based on, right?
Yeah.
That's what Tomodachi Life is kind of based on, but it has this weird kind of RPG relationship element to it. We don't know if any of that is in this title, right?
So we did see some screenshots. And in the screenshots, you have Mii's, and they're commenting on, or they're kind of making statements about themselves and other people. So it looks like it's kind of interconnected sharing of information with strangers. I mean,
Yeah, and think about it. That with your Facebook profile, that doesn't really work, right? You don't want to pass somebody and then have them see a photo of you and like your close kind of information. But this kind of creates, it's like the avatar that you have when you're posting on a forum, right? You can choose to make your character not look like you. Right? But like after a while, like let's say there is this kind of Street Pass element to it that is kind of free.
And we all got into Street Pass games.
Street Pass was cool, right? The only limitation to Street Pass is not that many people carry a 3DS and have it on, and you certainly cannot connect to the internet,
like the Street
right?
Pass
when you're on
Olympics, where it's just like tons of people participating in Street Pass. That would be interesting.
But think what will happen in a Japanese subway when you see the same person for the 10th time. You start to build a connection, right? You're like, oh, person is always on here.
But it's safe in Japan. Here, you're going to get murdered.
Yeah, but you can choose what to do, right?
I think it's interesting that you bring that up because there's kind of an element. You know, when they announced Pokemon Go, they talked about wanting people to engage with the real world rather than just kind of being absorbed in their phones. And I think that you get that element here with Miitomo as well. Like, rather than just sitting on the subway or the train or whatever you take to get around and looking at your phone and being isolated, the object is to connect with other people. And so you kind of see the similarities there. I think that's really interesting. I don't know if I want to befriend people on the train, but it's definitely interesting.
And I think that's how you have to approach it, right? We are consumers of games. We love Nintendo's games, but we also have to realize that not every product they create is targeted directly at us, right? There are 5 games coming until the first quarter of 2017 from them. They've said every franchise is open, right? That means we will see Mario and Zelda-based stuff, but probably not Mario and Zelda games, right?
And this is targeted for March.
Yep. 2016.
No, 5 new titles by March 2017.
Yep.
So yeah, we have a lot of time to play Nintendo games on iPhone that may be much different than this one. You know what's interesting about this to me is that like I can't believe they're using Mii's as the thing to associate Nintendo with on phones. Granted, we're not getting a Mario game, but like, why isn't it in like a Nintendo universe or something like really like say if you took this and it was just like also in Donkey Kong World sometimes and Smash Brothers style where like you have Mario background stuff. Instead, it's like all in like houses and Mii backgrounds and stuff. And it's just like why not just make this a big Nintendo social network thing with branding and a bunch of the cool stuff. Like the mini games could then have Kid Icarus in them and like stuff, but then it'd be stuff that people recognize instead of just being like tennis and things that Mii's do.
Well, we don't know, right? We don't know where this is going to go. We've only seen the very beginning of it. We'll talk a little bit about the other announcement as well, right? The whole network setup. But I just feel like the Mii's are not daunting. Like you're not seeing a character like the majority of people out there, even the majority of people who play games do not know Samus. Right, that is not a universal character.
So sad.
Everybody knows Mickey Mouse,
but
right?
We know that their strategy is to
Mii,
get people to see those things and then be like, "Oh, that's interesting. I want to play more on the 3DS."
Sure, but that
is something.
But
that
to me, that's a different strategy from this app where they're trying to create this universal identity that will one day span all of their platforms. Right, that's where this is going. Miitomo is not going to be this standalone thing that's just on mobile phones. Like that, Mii will live on all the platforms. I think it's really smart. It is not a game that most core gamers will want to play, but it really is a smart way to take the concept of a social network, make it a little bit, ironically impersonal, right? Like it's personal, but it's a little safer. You're removed from it. I think it's really smart, and it will work in Japan.
It will absolutely work in Japan. I'm interested to see how it works in the U.S. particularly. But I think it's really smart.
It will work in high schools in the U.S.
I think it's really smart for a Nintendo mobile game to take this approach.
Yep.
So.
And to wrap it up, I think it's always great that Nintendo uses Japanese slang and Japanese words and stuff in their branding now. It's just really funny to get a game called Miitomo that's supposed to be this big worldwide launch thing. But Nintendo's always done that. Nintendo never changed their name. They always stuck with interesting names.
But notice the strategy, right? They're not taking Tomodachi Life, even if it is connected.
Yeah.
They're saying, oh no, it's not exactly like Tomodachi Life. Therefore, it's not called Tomodachi Life something something. It's actually kind of a contraction of their Miiverse and Tomodachi Life.
That happens a lot with Japanese in general, just combining words like that to convey meaning. So it makes a lot of sense.
Yep. Very clever.